And I think we should be live now. Yeah. Hi everyone, it's Global Scholarships and I'm your host. As I hope you're all doing well. I hope everything is going great and I hope my microphone is not picking up too much of my laptop's noise. Sorry. Yeah. As always, we are here with another weekly live stream, another Friday, another live stream. And I'm, as always, here joined by Eamon. Hi, Eamon. How are you? How are things?
Hi, Az. I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? How have things been with you?
I'm doing fine too. Thank you very much. So, everyone, if you're new here, we are Global Scholarships, and we are basically a platform that shares information about studying abroad, about scholarships, and all that stuff. So basically, we have a YouTube channel. We have a TikTok account too. We also share some videos on TikTok, and we used to be able to do live streams on TikTok, but I think there is like a problem with the studio right now, and we cannot do that. So now, mostly like most of our content is at globalscholarships.com, which is our website. So basically, sorry, if you go to globalscholarships.com, this is the page you're gonna face. Karuku, hi Karuku, hello, very welcome. I hope you are having a nice day. So globalscholarships.com, this is the page you're gonna see. This is our homepage, and to start like from the point zero, everything in our website is just free. There is no payment, there is no like nothing that is paid. You don't have to create an account or something. You can use all of our tools, information for absolutely free. So basically what we have is we have a lot of guides here for courses, for scholarships. For example, if maybe you're interested in scholarships by like fully funded scholarships, maybe like popular university scholarships, maybe popular government scholarships, you can just click on any one of these and go and read our guide completely for free. And if you have any questions about the guide you have read or something else, you can just leave your questions in the comment section that we have at the bottom of every page. And Hyun Lee, who is the founder of Global Scholarships, he answers every single question, like literally every single one of them. So yeah, we have a lot of guides. For example, if you're interested in a specific country, you can go to our country guides and open the country guide for that specific country. If you want to study in China, for example, you can just go here. And as you can see, we have collections of guides for everything from like pros and cons of education system to best English taught universities in that country, the best programs to study in that country, how to apply to specific universities, if there are like specific procedures for that country's universities, documents and tests you will need. For example, some countries have their own proficiency tests. Like Korea, for example, they have something called test of proficiency in Korean, and if you get that, like get high levels on that test, you get like tuition discounts at certain universities. So we have those language proficiency tests. For example, yeah, we have HSK, for example, in China. Financing your studies. Usually we may make videos about these too. Like if you're interested, you can just check our YouTube channel too. Scholarship, types of visa, blah blah blah. We have a lot of stuff here. Also, if you scroll down in our website, first of all, you'll see you can see here that we have a $3,000 external scholarship that is given by Global Scholarships. Now, Global Scholarships is not mainly, hi there, Roy, welcome back. Is not mainly an institution that gives out scholarships. We are basically more interested in like sharing information, but we also do have one external scholarship that is worth $3,000. So yeah, we have partners. So we have scholarship stories. This is added, like recently added to our homepage. We've had this for a long time now. So basically what it is Global Scholarships goes out and finds people who have received very popular scholarships in very popular countries. For example, this person, let's say Paula, they've received MEX scholarship, which is a very popular government scholarship in Japan. So Global Scholarships goes out and reach those people and have them share their stories, like scholarship details, their educational background, how they prepare, etc., etc. Like what advice you could get from those people, which I think is a great tool because you are getting information and advice directly from people who have received those scholarships. So you can just click here to go all stories, or you can just choose resources here and then scholarship stories by country or degree, right? You can filter here for country, for degree, for funding. Usually a lot of these will be full funding scholarships because those are the most like popular scholarships that are very sought after. For example, we have some newly added people here. Let's say Netza. They're from Panama, and they're studying in University of Southampton, and they got a Chevening scholarship, which is again a very, very popular government scholarship. You can also click on the scholarship to go see our page for that. So you can read their story, get information directly from them. So this is a great tool that we don't really utilize for our content all that much. Like it is really difficult to make videos about these unless you are doing like an interview. But yeah, these are great tools. Other than that, we have country guides. And hang on, did I miss? Yeah, another thing that we don't really talk about all that often, we don't talk enough about, is our admission and scholarship results. So basically you can come here and click all admissions, and I'm gonna actually give you the link for this one, right? So this is pretty much what it says here. Explore the admission results for international students and their profiles at institutions around the world. If you want to submit your admissions result, please use the following form. So basically, these are like a lot of these are universities from United States, and these are like basically we have like thousands of entries here about people who have applied to universities. For example, this person is from Brazil. This is their SAT score. This is the family contribution. This is their GPA. This is like whether if the scholarship is full funding, the university, and they're accepted. So you can look into these if you are interested in a specific university, let's say Harvard, right? So these are all the results that we have. For example, these ones are accepted, these ones are rejected. I think this is a great tool for people to kind of like try and figure out whether their admissions would be accepted. So yeah, not accepting a lot of people Harvard, obviously. And you'll see some people with like lower GPAs, maybe lower SATs, from like countries that you wouldn't expect, are accepted to some of the schools. So yeah, this is a great tool as well. Hang on, let me just make sure everything's going well with the live stream. Yeah. Anyway, so I don't see any questions right now. Of course, this is a little not as lively as the live streams that we have on TikTok, but it's more controllable. So anyway, today we're going to talk about cheap universities, some of the cheapest universities in Italy. Basically, again, so you can go to guides, and we have cheap and free universities, all right? You can view all, or maybe if you're interested in cheap universities in Germany, in Amsterdam, in Milan, or a specific country, perhaps, you can look at those. But we also have these types of guides. For example, this one, cheap universities in Italy. So we're going to see a couple of these scholarships that are universities that are very affordable, that are in Italy. Also, I've tried to pick some, like find a couple of sources for like living costs in Italy, like for some of these universities, if I can. The universities are cheap, but also how affordable to go and live there. Italy is not extremely expensive, but of course, like it has some very strong tourism, which is why some places will be very expensive. while some other places in Italy will be much more affordable to live in. So before we start, Eamon, what would you like to say? Like start off with some like comments on Italy. We've spoken about Italy. Before we start, Arab says something. What do you think pursuing a second bachelor degree in computer science is a good idea if a student is unable to get admission to a master's program due to a low GPA from their first degrees? Yeah, that's not something I have a huge information on. That's a good question. Eamon, what do you think?
Um, like redoing an entire degree wouldn't really be something that I would consider to be objectively productive.
So, like,
Um,
I'm assuming that their first degree, like first bachelor degree, was also in computer science. I'm guessing, like, because
um,
if you're doing a completely different degree, different bachelor degree, I think that might be a complete, like, a whole other thing. But I'm assuming it's like the computer science degree, and they're talking about doing another bachelor degree in computer science, right?
uh, yes, that's exactly what they're saying, I guess. I think many uh students just resort into taking standardized exams, like the GRE, for example. Uh, the thing is, it's not accepted in many countries, so it's accepted in the United States and Canada, but uh, probably not all countries, depending on the country you want to apply to. That's one solution to just work around a low GPA to take a standardized exam and then submit your result alongside with your GPA. Just explain that you had some extenuating circumstances that led to a low GPA at some point, and your standardized exams is the true reflection of your real level. I think that's quite
Mhm.
reasonable, but doing a degree of 3 4 years again um is not really productive in terms of time and effort you would put into it. So you could have just pursued a master's degree and then did another master's abroad rather
Yeah.
than redoing an entire bachelor's degree, because you will find that you would be close to your 30s and you're still uh, doing your bachelor's degree, your second one. So you would probably be in a position you don't want to be in.
Yeah, which could also kind of lower your chances for like finding some scholarships. Not like, of course, not
Mm-hmm.
uh, close to your 30s perhaps, but some scholarships do have like age limits for certain degrees. And like if you're maybe you worked between those two bachelor degrees, etc., so that might be. But I think like if you are planning to do a bachelor's degree on another topic, maybe like you've done a you've done a bachelor's degree in computer science or maybe something else, and now you're planning to do something else, like bachelor's degree on something else. I think that's another story. But yeah, if you're planning to do the same bachelor's degree, I guess a standardized test might be a better idea. Okay, I'm gonna try to not butcher your name. Nina Wajambo, Nina Wajambo. Hi there, welcome to our live stream. I hope that's not very far away from how you pronounce your name. If you have any questions, we are happy to try and help you with your questions. Just like this one, just like the one that Arab asked, more specific the question, the better we can understand it and help you. So yeah, today once again we're gonna see some of the affordable universities. We talked about studying in Italy a little bit. The universities usually have like low tuition fees, but like I'm not. I don't want to make you talk about the same things over and over again, Eamon. But like, if you could maybe start off the subject with a little maybe summary, what would you say? Studying Italy, like
Um,
cheap universities in Italy.
yeah, so we have talked in detail about this before, but we can
Mm-hmm.
do a quick recap on studying in Italy. Italy is similar to many European countries where public universities are quite cheap.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Tuition could be as low as 200, 300 euros. Um, but where also private universities can be quite expensive, and it's the case
Yeah.
for most European countries. So between these European countries, there the exchange programs are quite popular for scholarships, like the Erasmus university. I mean, sorry, the scholarship, which a
Mm-hmm.
lot of universities are affiliated with. If you go to most universities' websites or Italian universities' websites, you'll find that they're advertising admission through Erasmus, and they tell you how to do it. They tell you how to apply through through the scholarship rather than applying directly to the university. And they actually have specific sections for the scholarship. So they have self-funding, and then through Erasmus, and then other kinds of admission. So it has its own admission, and I probably advise people who want to study in Italy to explore that further. Other than that, life just depending on which city you're in.
Yeah.
Living expenses could be cheap or slightly more expensive depending on the cities. Some of the bigger cities are obviously more expensive, and that's basically the same deal with probably any country in the world. Um, Other than that, I had a point that I wanted to make, but I just lost my train of thought.
All right.
Um,
Just feel free to interrupt me if you remember. It's fine.
yes. Um, oh yeah, I wanted to talk about part-time jobs,
Right.
um, which are quite available in Italy because there's a lot of tourism.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll find a lot of jobs in hotels, cafes. You'll need some level of mastery of Italian in order to secure such jobs because you'd be dealing with local people as well as
Yeah.
tourists. So being well versed in more than one language is a plus and would make you more hireable. You just need to have a good level in Italian, conversational, and then any other language would be just a plus. Yeah. So that's in general what Italy is like in terms of universities and life for international students.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. Yeah. As pretty much as Eamon said, guys, like a lot of there are a lot of universities that are great universities, by the way, very high, like top level universities, on certain subjects that are pretty much offering education for free. Especially when you compare them to like places like United States, perhaps like in Europe, maybe places like United Kingdom or some Scandinavian countries. They are very, very, very affordable in terms of tuition fees. Again, cost of living can be a little bit high because, for example, even like if you want to study in Venice, right? So studying in like staying around the Venice where you can go and still study at your school, and we're gonna see one like we're gonna say a school today in Venice, Ca' Foscari. So like that would be a completely different thing. But if you want to stay very close in like in Venice, like then your rent will or your accommodation costs will just skyrocket very very fast. So yeah, there are some places that are extremely expensive. There are some places that are much, much more affordable. And we're going to see a couple of those universities. For example, the first one, again, this is, hang on, let me share the link actually, right? So this is our guide for Italy and cheapest universities in Italy. And I just made a video about this one too. If you're interested to see further, you can just go and watch our video on this topic. So we have, for example, University of Florence. Now, some of these universities we have pages for. I think EU countries, there is a language barrier. In any EU country, we have to learn their language. So that is, I believe that is true to some to some extent. I don't think I'm not sure if it's more than what would happen if you went to, say, China or Japan. Like there will be a lot of people who can speak that language. For example, if you go to Germany, but if you want to, like already the whole point of this is trying to study there without needing a lot of money. Because like if you have a lot of funds, like your family can kind of cover all of your expenses, then it's just like it's pretty much it's quite easy to go there and live there anyway. So like if you are trying to live there with like limited resources, I think learning their language will be your best bet. Because like for example, if you want to do a bachelor's degree, 4 years is a lot. Like you will certainly get sick. You will certainly try to find medication, have to tell your situation to a like a medical professional. You will live through a couple of crises. Like it will be. It is very likely that you'll live like a couple of experiences that are pretty much like straight up nightmare if you don't know their language. Even if they are like there are a lot of people that will speak English with you to like make it easier for you to live there. Yeah, I think there is a language barrier like wherever you go. So for some of these universities, we have pages. For example, the University of Turin, like you can just click on University of Turin here. Or if you want to see what pages that have for universities or scholarships, you can just go to globalscholarships.com and use our search tool that I should have demonstrated earlier in this live stream. So this is our free search tool. You can, for example, if you're interested in studying in Italy, you can just type in Italy, click on Italy, and this is going to show you all the scholarships that we have in our database in Italy. For example, we have about 40, and these are like at universities like University of Padua, Polytechnic University of Milan, University of Pisa. So we have pages for these scholarships. Basically, Global Scholarships kind of finds all the scholarships that we can from universities that are offered by the university for newcomers. So, for example, this is, let's say, University of Padua, right? They have 5 scholarships. You can just click here and go and see the scholarships, but these are only the scholarships that are offered by the university for newcoming students. There will be other scholarships that are offered by external institutions like governments and etc. And there will be a lot of scholarships that are offered by the university to existing students, like second year, third year students as well. So yeah, for example, this one, you can just see their information. As you can see, even these are very affordable, like 400 euros to a couple of thousand euros. These are very affordable. So the first one is a university that we don't have a page for. This is University of Florence. You can click here to go and see the university's page. But as you can see, we have the information here. Like the tuition fee is about 156 euros per semester. We can also see the university. Let me show you. Also, let me check something. Yeah, all right. So this is the university in Florence, in the middle of Florence. Again, like it will be a little expensive if you want to live in the middle of Florence, because like it's a very like it has a very rich history, so it has a lot of tourism, and like your accommodations, like even just your accommodations might be more than what you would have to pay for your entire education somewhere else in Italy, perhaps like somewhere southern. Also, if you do not know, there is a significant divide between southern Italy and northern Italy. Northern Italy is usually more affluent and more like richer, and of course like so more expensive. Anyway, this is the university, University of Florence. It's about, as you can see, about 200 euros per semester. A lot of the times, like when you are told that tuition fees are like a couple of €100, a couple of $100, a couple of $1,000, keep in mind that there will be other fees as well, like application fees, maybe fees about like using the campus utilities and etc. There will be other fees. So as you can see, this is their page for this. So these are so we have a stamp duty, 16 euros, and then 140 euro for regional tax, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's fairly affordable. I couldn't find information about like living costs here. Maybe in a future live stream I could find that. So the second university is University of Milan, for which we also have a page, right? So pretty much tuition fee is the same, like a couple of €100, like 156 euro, as you can see. Like it can go a little higher, but it will not like exceed like 3,000 euros as well. So yeah, we have some scholarships here too, and I do believe, no, I don't have living costs here now. So you can also click here to go and see the scholarships. Let me actually share the link with you. So we have a couple of scholarships that like cover tuitions, cover like partial funding. So this is about like 2,000 euros. This is just one time, by the way, which will cover like 2 or 3 months of your living costs probably. We have doctoral scholarships, etc., etc. We have external scholarship that this is ours. Like it would be great if we could put like some other external scholarships here, perhaps like government scholarships as well. But yeah, these are the scholarships that you will be able to find. Again, like 100, 200 euros per semester. Then we have Polytechnic University of Turin, for which we do not have a page. Again, 161 euros per semester. It's not that high too. And actually for this university, I do have a living cost estimation. So these are the tuition fees, about like 160. So it's like $20, $30 per month. And then we have the living costs. We can see here. So yeah, by the way, Turin, let me show the university. Turin is another northern city, quite close to Milan. So it's here. A lot of the universities you'll see here are in the northern Italy. I'm not sure why, but most well-known universities in Italy are usually on the not the northern side of the country. So yeah, this is the university. It's kind of a new university. You don't like some other universities have like very historic architecture, etc., etc. But no, not this. So you're quite close to France, Switzerland, places like Genoa, Milan, etc. So like there will be a lot of opportunities to go and see those other places. It will be a little bit expensive though. Like usually your rental will be about like 400 to 600 euros for a single room. Like 600 euros is something that you could just live on as a student for in a country like perhaps Taiwan or China. And then average cost for food can be about 200, 300. So transportation about like 30 perhaps. So it will be, and then consider utility expenses, electricity, blah, blah, blah. So let's say these are 100, like it will be about maybe 700 to 1,000 euros living in Turin and studying in Politecnico di Torino, which is a great university, by the way. It's a great like Polytechnic university. You will get a very good education. You'll be studying in Italy. You'll be able to see a lot of places in Italy, in northern Italy, but it is kind of expensive. So like if you're not very good with your finances, if you're not very frugal, you'll need something like 1,000 euros to be able to study here. And then we have University of Turin, and it's pretty much the same. So here's the university. I think this is more like a historical university, I believe. Yeah, so this is the University of Turin. Again, the same place, the same city in Italy. So this is the university, and they have like a little picture you can see. So it's not extremely cheap to live in Turin. They have some scholarships, like they have 3 scholarships, and it's a large university, by the way. They have like 3. We have like, but like I think most of them are for students at risk, like this or this or this. We have this scholarship. This is for graduate students. Like they give you about 20,000 euros. So that will cover quite a lot of things. But yeah, again, keep in mind it will cost like 1,000 euros to study there. Other than that, we have Ca' Foscari University of Venice. It's not like a very high-ranking university, but it's in Venice, so I know that a lot of people would be interested in just because the university looks like this. So, which is why also it will be quite expensive to study here, in terms of living costs. Even though the university is kind of cheap, it's about like 1,800 euros a year, which is like what, like it's this is just the entire year. It will be like 150 euros per month or something. So it is very cheap in terms of tuitions. But let's see living costs. I think I have something for this. Yeah. So living costs are something else. So this is the living costs that the school estimates. So costs and accommodation, you'll see. So here's what I was talking about. If you want to live in mainland Venice, it's about like 250, 350. But if you want to live in historic center of Venice, it's about 350 or 450, which like, and this is at best. So basically they are telling you to consider a monthly budget of 750 euros. I believe this is if you want to live in mainland Venice too. And like keep in mind that if you live in a place like this, that looks like this, and study in a university basically that has like a view of the canal in Venice, a lot of things that you will need to buy, like groceries, etc., etc., they will also be very expensive. So yeah, tourism is very important for Italy, but it does make it a little expensive to study in. Then we have University of Camerino. It's about 450 euros per year. This is tuition fees. I don't think I have information on living cost. Other than that, the last one is the University of Modena and Reggio Emilia. So this is a really good university. Tuition fees are about like 600, 700 euros. That's pretty much it. It's not extremely high, but so let's see the university actually. I do have information on living costs here. So it's not a very central place. Like it's not in Rome or Genoa or Milan or something. But it's quite close to a lot of those places. Like all of these, like Milan, Genoa, Florence, San Marino, Bologna, Venice. These are like 1 hour, 2 hour drive away. So yeah. And then we have information on the living costs, how much it would cost. Let's see that. So this is much more affordable. So they're saying that they estimate that you'll need about like 700 to 7,000 to 8,000 euros per year. And as you can see, like these are much more affordable than other places. Like average cost for a private room, by the way, and it's about 250 euros per month. This doesn't cover your tuitions, but again, your tuitions will be quite low compared to what you spend in Italy. So it's not like, I think it's very much more affordable than other places because it's not a very central, very crowded touristic hotspot, but it is still quite close to a lot of those, and it's a it's a really good university, by the way, like education quality wise. So yeah, this is the last university that we have for today. These are some of the cheap, like affordable universities in Italy. If you want to see, you can find more. Again, you can just type in Italy here and go see more. Hang on. So, for example, in University of Padua, they do not have very high tuition fees. They do have some great scholarships like this one, International Excellence Scholarship, which covers 100% of your tuition fees and a stipend of 8,000 euros per academic year. And then let's see how much it costs to study in University of Padua. So they have an estimation page for living costs. If it opens, yeah, here it is. So, hang on. Okay, so they have some like accommodation here, single room, double room. As you can see, like accommodation can get very expensive, but also there are some much more affordable options. They have like meals, grocery shopping, pizzeria, etc. And then they estimate that you'll need about 850 euro to study in here in Padua. Padua, by the way, University of Padua is one of the oldest universities. It's a very prestigious university too. And this is 850, 900 euros. It's kind of close to what you would need to have in Germany, like a lot of places in Germany as well. So they also kind of count in like swimming pool, gym, entertainment like cinema, theater, etc. So yeah, there are other universities, the University of Bologna, for example, that are not in this list. And hang on, it should be here. Yeah, here it is. I think this is the oldest university in the world. And again, they have some very good scholarships. For example, benefits and exemptions for Collegio Superiore. This covers a ton of things like free accommodation, financial contribution of like 3,000 euros, living costs, exemption from tuition fees, etc., etc. This is for bachelor's, master's, and PhD, by the way. So it's a very comprehensive scholarship. And we also have, yeah, University of Bologna living costs. Let me see. Let's see what we have here. So as you can see, like they have like single room in a shared apartment, blah blah blah. They do not have a summary. So let's say 300, 400, maybe 250 from this, about 600. And then with this about 700, you'll need about 800 to 900 euros to study in Bologna. Any kind of scholarship in Germany for bachelor, please tell me. I can see you. Sabcom. You do not need to spam your message. I'm not sure if that's because of your connection. So any kind of scholarship in Germany for bachelor. Now, in Germany, there are not that many scholarships because the education is already free in a lot of places, in a lot of public universities. So you can look at it here. Choose Germany. Actually, let's choose Germany here. Most scholarships that you will find in Germany in our website will be free tuition. Basically, these are not as much as like scholarships. They're more like just free education. For example, let's say University of Berlin, right? So this is free education. You do not have to pay any tuition fees. You pay like 100 euros something per semester, a semester fee, and then your like living costs, they do not really cover your living costs. For example, if you choose full funding here, you'll see there are no scholarships that we have in our database. Again, there are other scholarships that you can get in Germany from external institutions or from universities that are given to existing students. We only have university scholarships that are for new coming students in our database. You will not find that many full funding scholarships that cover your living costs in Germany, because again, education is already like in a lot of universities completely free. You don't pay any tuition fees. One thing you can go for is, other than of course external scholarships, is the DAAD scholarship, which is their government scholarship. So this is given by the government. You can read about it through, hang on, right here, share it with you. So yeah, other than that, you will need to pay some like semester fees, about a couple of €100 perhaps, like 100, 200, 300. Other than that, they like, usually if you go to their universities, to the university's website, for example, this one, right? This is Technical University of Berlin. If you go to their website, they usually give you information about how to finance your studies. Like for example, working as an assistant, state support. We can look at this one too. Scholarship, like their own scholarships, like DAAD scholarships, student loans, etc. And then usually they also give you information on how much it costs to live there too. Like German universities give you a lot of information through their website before going there. You will be able to get a lot of information just from their website. But other than that, there are not that many scholarships that we can point out to for you, but you can look for them here. Eamon, do you want to add anything about this question?
I think your answer was quite comprehensive. I don't think there's much I can add to that.
Okay, thank you. By the way, like usually, the estimated living costs they give is something between like 700 or 1,000 euros, depending on the city. Like in Berlin or Munich or places like that, it'll be a little closer to 1,000. But like if you get something that gives you free accommodation, maybe you get a job, etc., etc. Yeah, then your living costs will be much more affordable. So yeah, I was talking about this. No, yeah, we're pretty much done with this. Italy, again, as we said, there are some very affordable universities, but living costs can be a little much. So you need to have a plan. Also, if you go to Italy, you'll want to see places around Italy. So yeah, I'm not sure. By the way, Eamon, like, could you give me a little information about like why? Because I do know that southern Italy is way more affordable than northern Italy. Like usually northern cities are more they're richer. So like, is there actually a phenomenon that like northern universities are usually better? Because like most universities that I've heard in Italy, they're from northern cities.
Like I don't have a like a real answer to that because I just don't know. But if I had to guess, it's probably because of the borders and how they influence a country. So the north is mostly bordered by Monaco and Switzerland, which are
Mhm.
countries that are known to be very, very uh, affluent
Yeah.
countries where living is more expensive. And I think it's just a trend that crosses the border. Whereas for southern Italian, universities and cities, there's no such influence from the border itself. So
Yeah.
I would, if I had to guess, but it probably could be the case, probably not.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
No, I wasn't asking why do you think like
oh,
north is richer and south is more more a little poorer, perhaps, let's say. I was asking, like, I have this observation that like most of the
Yeah.
universities I see here, that or I hear about in Italy are usually in the like the northern section, right? Like
Oh.
do you think that there is like, for example, in Turkey, most like best universities, like most high quality education you'll see is usually on the western side. Like there's an actual divide that a lot of people know about in Turkey. Like there are a lot of better universities in west, and which is why a lot of people try to go west to study in. Like of course there are other countries with pretty much the same divide. I was just asking like if there is, do you like is it the same with your observation? Like most very good universities are on the northern side.
Not necessarily, because Palermo and Catania have very good
Hmm.
universities, and they're the further south, and they're quite cheap. I think
Yeah.
if you are looking for cheap universities, that's the place to go, like Palermo, Catania. So th this side of Italy, uh, probably it's just due to how Italy is shaped as well, because there's more space in the north than there is in the south, so you'd find more universities,
Hmm.
and then by extension, there's a chance of more good universities being there. Um, and those are the ones we hear about. But at the same time, I think um, them being known is more about the cities themselves than it is
Yeah.
about the
Could be.
universities. Yeah, uh,
So like
I wouldn't really equate that to the quality of education they provide. And
because
I
like
saw
I
a lot
was.
of praise.
Mhm.
Sorry, yeah. Oh,
You
I
go.
was
No, go
just,
ahead. Please go ahead.
yeah, saying that I saw a lot of praise for Southern Italian universities for being cheap and for life being cheap in general there. Like from Rome down,
Hmm. Yeah,
there
because I
are
would
good
like to
universities.
see, like, I would like to try and find, for example, like, pretty much all of these universities are in, like, north, which is why, like, I
Mm-hmm.
would also want to see, like, the ones that we have in our database. I would like to see how much, for example, would cost to study in a southern Italian university, like, versus northern Italian university, because, like, the tuitions are not very high, and which means the bigger concern is the living costs. So like I guess studying in southern Italy should like take down like a little, decrease those living costs. So I'm just asking because that's the main financial concern, you know. For example, yeah, this one too, University of Pavia. Anyway, so I'm gonna try to find maybe perhaps for perhaps for next week's live stream to find some good universities in southern Italy and try to see how much they cost, how much are the living costs in southern Italy. So might be interesting. Anyway, I don't see any new questions here on YouTube. And guys, yeah, that's pretty much it. Usually this is like an Q&A live stream. We also try to like talk about some things that we are already like working on, etc. Like to use it as a um, you know, as an opportunity to give you information about anything that we are talking about. But if you have any questions right now, just type them in the chat and we'll do our best to answer them for you. Otherwise, we're going to end the live stream here and we'll be here again next Friday. So, yeah. Anyway, um, Ayman, if you were going to study in a country in Europe for, let's say, your bachelor, right? You're 18, you're going to go to a country in Europe. How can we, sorry, Aeropro says, how can we evaluate whether a specific department in a university is good or not? For instance, a university may have a high overall QS ranking, but a particular department might not as be strong compared to the same department in other universities. Yeah, it can be also the same, like vice versa. Like some universities are not that great, but just one department is insanely good because of, let's say, one teacher or like a couple of professors perhaps. Yeah, you're completely right. Eamon, do you think like what would be your answer? Like, how can they evaluate if the specific department is good?
My probably advice is reach out to current students or alumni through LinkedIn. Just go through LinkedIn, say the name of the university, and then go through profiles and see people who are pursuing the degree you're looking for,
Mhm.
and then just connect with them, ask them, and I think most of these people will reply and tell you what the department is like, what the quality of education is like, and they wouldn't really lie to you. So I would get it straight from the source from people who are studying there, rather than relying on statistics online. Just reach out to the people.
Right. Also, like if you're asking this for like master's or PhD, I think at that level of study, department of quality of department is pretty much directly linked to the quality of professors. So like I think at that point you would need to have information on the specific professors. For example, if you want to study in a country, sorry, in a university, and you look at their departments, like you should be able to say something about those professors, like what do they study. For example, when I applied to a university for assistantships, for example, I can go and see, okay, like there are these teachers, like these professors in this department, and some of these are really great, doing great jobs, and some of these are not so much. So like you can also have an idea through the professors, especially if you are doing this again on postgraduate level. How can I reach success? Education Embassy France. Are there any special link or site to can set virtual appointment with education section in France? That's a very specific question, Ayman.
Um, I don't think there's such a thing as the education embassy. So the embassy is one thing, and then there's the Ministry of Education, which is something else. Um, but I'm not sure for what purposes you're trying to get this virtual appointment. Um, if you want to apply to universities in France, you have to do it through Campus France, and they will do the interview with you once you're accepted. But uh, the Ministry of Education, so as an international student, I don't know how you would uh, get in touch with them. I think just probably look for Ministry of Education, go to their website, and you probably find some contact information. It probably could be through phone or email. Uh, you would find the contact information, then send them an email, and I'm not sure if they will reply, but uh, just try that. I'm not sure how else you can contact the Ministry of Education without being physically in France. So if you were there, you probably could just go. But online, the chances of getting a reply are very, very low from a governmental body. Uh, it's not impossible. So you should just look up Ministry of Education France and then go on their website, find their contact information, and try to contact them from there.
Okay, thank you. Teleportato asks, what kind of scholarships can I apply for now as a 12th grader from India? I do engineering mainly in something like CSE or AI. So you can use our search tool. Let me share the link. For example, this is our search result for scholarships for bachelors in engineering for people from India. Usually, scholarships don't really care about your nationality. Some of them are for specific countries, specific nations, but most of them you can apply from anywhere. Subjects now, some of these are, for example, some of these like the ones that are highest, like at the highest results, they are the ones that specifically mention engineering, like these, for example, like these. This is like UC College of Engineering International Scholarship at University of Canterbury, New Zealand. This is for engineering. but the others are saying all subjects. That means all subjects that are offered by that university. Keep that in mind. If that university does not offer engineering, which university does not? Most universities do. You can apply to that. Also, you can uh, choose the scholarship type: full funding, full tuition, partial funding. For example, if you choose full funding, there are like 130 scholarships. They're not specifically for engineering, but you can apply to those. So you can look at those. You can just click on any one of these and see like the summary, what they cover, the deadlines, application procedure, and go to official scholarship page and get the information from the university as well. So yeah, if you have a specific scholarship in mind, you can also ask us about that too. Success says, what can I do if universities do not accept Duolingo English test? What do you think, Eamon?
Yeah, if they don't, the only way is to sit for the IELTS, the TOEFL, or the exams they accept. Some universities waive these exams if you had your previous education completely in English. Uh, but other than that, there is no real way around it. So if they don't accept Duolingo, you have to go for other uh, language proficiency tests.
Yeah, there aren't that many universities that accept Duolingo English test, I believe. Like there are some, but not like all of them. Do you have any specific advice you would want to give to Teleportato? Scholarships, they're looking for scholarships as a 12th grader. I believe they're like looking for bachelors. From India, they want to do engineering, mainly something like CSE or AI.
Um, yeah, so I think your advice was just as good as mine. If you're lost and you don't know where to start, you don't know what country you want to go to, you don't have much information about uh, scholarship opportunities, just go on our website, use our search tool, and start from there. Like, see what you like, see what scholarships are more appealing to you, and then go from there. So, if you have specific countries in mind or specific scholarships, we can help you with that.
If other exams are not available in my country, says success. What?
Um,
What?
I
Maybe
don't
you can
think,
tell us what country you're from.
yeah, I think they are available. They're just not available all the time in most countries. In countries where people think they're not available, I think they're available in big cities, and they're
Yeah, okay.
held in places like hotels. Some have like their dedicated centers, but some don't. It just it just depends on where you live. But I believe that they're available in all countries.
Afghanistan.
Oh,
That's a
uh,
tough one.
yeah,
Yeah.
that
You
is
go
tough.
ahead. I wouldn't want to answer that. Go ahead. That's a very difficult question.
Um, I mean, I can see here that the British Council offers the test in Afghanistan, and they have the dates: January 31st, February 7th, uh,
Which
February
city
12th, and
is Kabul?
sorry,
Is it Kabul?
yes,
Hmm.
yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
so like success, did you search, like look for it in internet? Maybe like or other exams as well? I think like maybe a quick Google search might give you answers on where you could find those. I'm not
well,
like
actually,
genuinely. Sorry, go ahead.
sorry, yeah. Once I looked further, it says so we can't find any test in this country. So maybe she's right.
They were saying they're a girl, so they cannot refer to academic centers outside their home. Yeah.
In that case, I think your best bet is to just apply to universities that accept Duolingo. So don't go for those that don't. At least then you can take the exam at home and then apply for the universities, because there's no way you can take the IELTS or TOEFL at home.
Okay, I searched a lot, but I don't find anyone. So let's see. By the way, there are. Hang on. Yeah, so also like not just looking for like Duolingo English test. Maybe you can search for those too. Uh, but like there are some universities around the world that are like specifically giving scholarships and aids to people from places like maybe like war zones or people who are who can be accepted as refugees or in need of help. Hang on, where was that actually? Today we were talking about one of those. I think I closed that one. Eamon, do you want to say anything about that one? Like they're from like would do you think they would be eligible for some of those scholarships? Perhaps we can like suggest like recommend some of the scholarships that they could apply to.
Uh, I don't think it applies. I'm not sure because those apply in cases of displacement rather than anything else. So
Hmm.
I'm not sure if sanctuary or refugee scholarships apply in this case.
Columbia University. They have been accepted at Columbia University, but could not afford to attend could not attend because of financial barriers, and they do not offer any fully funded scholarship. Most universities, except Duolingo, do not offer scholarships. So,
Um,
yeah.
I would take it that they're applying for a bachelor's degree,
Mhm.
which means that it's a little tougher to find scholarships that are governmentally funded. Those generally don't require any language proficiency exams, or uh, at least give you time. Um, yeah, so I think you should look into um need blind universities in the United States,
Yeah.
um, because those would give you uh, fully funded scholarships just because you are admitted, and regardless of your financial circumstances. I think that's your best bet, or just go for need aware universities, and you might have a good chance of being accepted with a fully funded scholarship, but it's not guaranteed.
Okay. Also, Aeropro says, what should we do while studying for a master's degree to secure a job after graduation? In India, most universities assist students in getting placements in companies. Um, do you have a specific answer for this, Eamon? That seems like a
My
like a
answer
broad
is
question.
there are never any guarantees, so you can't do anything to guarantee getting a job after graduation. Um, like the degree doesn't mean much anymore, especially in fields like computer science. Uh, Nowadays, companies are looking for people who are competent, regardless of what degree they hold. So it's just, I would say, the best thing you can do is just make sure you're competent by the end of your degree. Make sure that you actually are a valuable asset, or you would be to any company, and you would find a job. So even without saying that you have a master's, if you can uh, prove that you're a competent individual, you would be definitely hired. So someone will hire you.
Okay, success says, since I want to connect with education ministries, because from my point of view, that is my last chance. Do you think there is a way that they could do that?
I don't think that's the ministries would do much. I think you should contact the universities directly and ask
Mhm.
if they have opportunities for international students with mitigating circumstances like
Yeah.
yours, and they probably would give you good advice on what to do and what scholarships you can apply for. That's the best thing. So I think rather than contacting the Ministry of Education, contact universities and
Also, you
ask.
could, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, that's it. That's it.
Also, you could like maybe try to see if you can reach out to some of the foundations that are like some external institutions and foundations that are offering scholarships to specific people from around the world. For example, like if you want to, let's say you reach out to a university, contact the university, and like get information about the scholarship, etc., etc. You could also ask them like, what kind of foundations do you think I could go and like talk to, perhaps. So like, do not. I wouldn't. I would advise you to not forget about like external institutions as well, because like they might like there's a chance that there are more of them, and there's a chance that one of them might be able to help you. So yeah. Other than that, also, yeah, you know what? I I will try to find something that perhaps you can like apply to, or you can maybe you're eligible for, or perhaps like about TOEFL or the Duolingo English test. Anyway, um, I don't see any other questions. Success. If you want to add anything, perhaps you can ask too. Also, like after the school, after the live stream is done, we are here every Friday. If you have any other questions, you can just come in and ask your questions. Leave them in our comment section, or as always, of course, you can just go to Global Scholarships and leave your questions at the bottom of any page that we have. Yeah. Yeah, yes. Like I wish we can do better. But like let's see if we can find something. Anyway. Okay, everyone, thank you very much for joining in to our live stream. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this on VOD, we are here every Friday at the same hour. And Eamon, thank you very much for joining me here today.
Yeah, thank you for having me as.
All right. Okay, everybody, have a nice week, and we'll be here next Friday. And bye. Have a nice week.